It was 20 years ago exactly this week that I had a black bear chase me in these woods. I grew up in these woods. This is where my family has a summer home. I've been coming here for 58 out of my 68 years, and boom, 8:30 in the morning, I was walking my little pug Boris, and that black tree stump over there all of a sudden started to move and come at me, and I said, holy cow, it's a black bear. This was 20 years ago, and I have not been comfortable walking in my beautiful woods ever since. I've been in a prison of fear, and I don't want to be there anymore. So I ask you today, what are you afraid of that's keeping you handcuffed, that's preventing you from having more joy and fun in your life? I'm going to give you 3 tips, mental toughness tips on how to overcome these fears. Now, it's simple but not easy, and this is just a quick introduction to how you can really start to overcome them. Number 1, make the decision. Today, I make the decision that I no longer want to be in prison. I want to enjoy these woods. I grew up here. I've never encountered a black bear before that. That was the beginning of urban sprawl, when bears were starting to come in and raid garbage cans in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And by the way, I'm here in Northeast Pennsylvania in the Pocono Mountains. Black bears here do not hurt human beings unless you feed them and provoke them constantly over a period of time, and they might want to start to lash out. But if you leave them alone and do not feed them, they mind their own business. But 20 years ago, they were getting into people's garbage. Anyway, so it was chasing after me, and I was screaming, help, help, help. I had no skills on how to handle this crisis I was in. And here I am 20 years later, still afraid to hike. Maybe you're afraid of flying, very common, or maybe you're afraid of speaking in public and you have to do so for business, and you want to do so at your sister's wedding next year. How can you overcome that? Make the decision, number 1, to say, I no longer want to be a prisoner to this fear. I decide today to take action and overcome the fears. Number 2, get the facts. Find out the facts about how safe or how dangerous is flying really. How safe or how dangerous is it for me to really go for a hike in the woods today? How dangerous is it for me to stand up at my sister's wedding next year and make a 3-minute toast? Get the facts. I did so. I talked to our local patrolman. I talked to local game wardens, and they said, Laura, we have really effectively curbed the bear problem here. People are no longer feeding the bears. They're taking down their bird feeders. They have bear-proof garbage cans. They're not breaking and entering literally into our homes and sweeping everything off the kitchen counters and going into the refrigerators. That's how bad it got. And they also humanely removed 6 black bears from the area that were continually coming in and sacking people's homes that were leaving food out and open garbage cans. They humanely trapped them and removed them to a game preserve 400 miles away. So I got the facts. What are the facts about flying? We know that it is more dangerous to drive to the airport than it is to get up in one of those steel tubes and fly across the country. Flying is very safe. How dangerous is it to do a public speaking engagement at your sister's wedding? Not very. You're quite safe. Number 3, now that you've made the decision and you've gotten those facts, take an action step today. If not now, when? For me, another 5 years could go by before I decide to start hiking in these beautiful woods. So today I'm taking a hike that might be 5 minutes long. And then tomorrow I'll take a hike that's 5 minutes long, and I'll repeat that until I get a little more confident. Next week I might take a hike that's 10 minutes long. Perhaps you might start practicing speaking and rehearsing your sister's speech for her wedding in front of the mirror. Or you might take a practice flight from Philadelphia to Boston. Instead of driving, it's an hour flight, and just practice with little baby flights. Getting on the flight, sitting there, calming your emotions, landing and saying, that wasn't so bad. I could do that again. Another action step for me is I went out and I bought a bear bell. So when I walk in the woods, I ring the bell because the bears here do not want to hurt me. But if one might be, 100 or 200 yards in the woods, every minute or so I ring my bell and they say, I really don't want to be near that, and they run away. So it gives me a little extra vote of confidence. There are lots of action steps that you can take to help yourself overcome your fear. So I hope that helps you today. I have to go on my 5-minute hike right now, so I bid you farewell, and I believe in you, and today I really believe in me as well. Hashtag, oh yes, you can.